Potentially the newcomer of the year.
And speaking of newcomers, we see Noe Favia rocking the electric silver hair out on the turf. Grabbed himself his first.
Teams have talent on both sides of the ball, whether it be offensively or defensively. And see Craig Childs on it. Craig Childs leading this team in goals.
And he's going to fall on the ground, and that's going to be a foul.
Going against the Empire. A quick restart.
Since of Justin Stinson that it was going to be the likes of Gabriel Costa who had to step up tonight, and he has answered the call so far.
And that's going to be a whistle against Robert Palmer, and he is irate. He feels as if that was a Escoto. Johnny Topete is going to mark Escoto. Ball's going to come in from Childs, back to Brandon. Chudas, out to Cardenas. Cardenas with a shot. Uzi, the leader of this team in terms of blocked shots, and if I'm not mistaken, he is number 3 in the league in that statistical category. Robert Palmer, who unfortunately had the deflection off of Mitchell Cardenas' shot, passing it over to Pacheco.
Pacheco is going to connect with rookie Noe Favilla. Noe pressured by Gonzalez. Pacheco's going to pass it into Tayu. Tayu battling with Cardenas.
Tayu sporting a fresh cut, a la the style of Michael Jordan. The great ones certainly love their head shaved.
Paul is going to pass it out to a la Michael Jordan, or is it a la his brother Uzi? Who's he paying homage to? Well, I'll say both of them are great.
Jordan, Uzi, Frank, greatness in the building, Doctor. Berto out to Costa. Costa had the first goal of the game for the Empire Strikers. Leads the league in wins. Berto back over to Pacheco. Pacheco back out to Palmer. Palmer looks to connect with P.
P looking to put the moves by Farber, but he's going to wisely kick it back out to Frank. Tayu with Guerrero Pino in front of him. Back over to Costa. Lycone. It's been a lot of the strategy for the Strikers is to look to connect with Frank Tayu. And the soccer see
coming as we saw Guerrero Pino put a foot out there.
I mean, a quick double team on the King.
See, a race to the ball between
to play out through the rest of this game.
Regardless of what team it is, it would be wise to mark the leading scorer. Massive statement out there by winning 2 very important and crucial games.
I mean, you see these guys get so vehement in their actions toward each other on the turf, and then you talk to them after the game, and they're all just a bunch of sweethearts. It's funny to see the dichotomy.
Look, professional athletes are going to be competitive. There's
no doubt about that. Players may
Doctor.
MASL Media 6 is singing the praises of some Boone's Farm. Little different caliber.
We're talking about there.
I only like my wine in a box, Doctor. I know that is blasphemous. I also don't like wine in a box. Just saying. Mycone. Mycone's going to look to connect with Uzi. He got the wrong side of it. Sockers have it. Sockers looking to make a run. Charlie sprinting down the turf, crossing into the attack zone. Tremendous defensive effort by Robert Palmer.
Frank, gonna look to get by 2 San Diego Sockers defense.
Last thing I want to do tonight is have to say your name on the broadcast. And here we weren't even able to make it through the first quarter, and we've already got a trainer out on the pitch. Robert Palmer definitely came in with some force there. Officials initially
crossing the midfield, passing it back over to Berto. Berto, who absolutely robbed the Stalkers of a potential 3rd goal earlier.
Demonstratively, one might say.
And you could argue that it's because of that play that Charlie is potentially in the box.
Cisse with Farber in front of him. I'd love to know the number of games played between those 2 competitive athletes.
Both of them in this league since its inception. I mean, we're talking
hundreds.
20 years worth of indoor soccer experience, if not more collectively. Ball's going to come off of the boards. Frank Tayu has it with Cardenas. Looking to pressure him. Big Frank. Yeah, Sigic was in the way of Frank. And that ball's going to come out. A race between Gonzalez and Berto, and that's going to be a whistle.
For coming through the back of Berto there, it will be Striker's ball.
Izzy's going to have it on the restart. Sigic is going to allow that to happen, to come into play. He receives it back into the midfield. He's going to look to connect. Berto breaks it up. Childs has it, chests it. Fancy footwork by the...
Little chippy here early on.
That's what happens when you have 2 competitive teams. A brilliant pass and a little too much mustard, just a little wide to the right.
Oh, he had Sweet Pea wide open for a tap-in if he'd just played that a little.
Cardenas, Cisse's going to be there to pick it up in the midfield.
Better pressure here from Empire.
Palmer, brilliant pass off the boards to
Tayu. Big Frank, looking to get by Cardenas.
Another interesting battle between defender and forward. Berto has it. Berto into the head. Pardo looking to connect with Childs.
Childs smartly heading that.
Second quarter here in Toyota Arena. If you're just joining us now, folks, the San Diego Sockers
have the edge against the Empire Strikers.
For all of you Spanish listeners of the San Diego Sockers, what up? 2 balls and a mic.
I'm a fan of that podcast. I follow them on social media and on Twitter. Look, after every broadcast, but I love this game, and whether you like
me or not, hopefully you at least acknowledge the fact that I am a fan of the sport.
much like the rest of you tuning into this broadcast.
Oh, everybody loves you, Philly. What are you talking about?
Of course. I'm huge in San Diego. I got my own billboard at LAFC, brother.
Leo De Oliveira's going to kick it down low. Nobody's there. And Chris Toth, the son of
The legendary Zoltan Toth, Zoli the goalie. We learned a lot of cool things. It's always fun having a conversation with Shep Messing. I could sit and listen to the chairman for hours. And folks, I did do a really amazing interview with Commissioner Keith Tozer, so make sure you don't go anywhere at halftime. The commissioner has a lot of really amazing and interesting things to say about the growth of this league at the half, so make sure you stay tuned into that.
Speaking of talented media personalities, we got none other play-by-play voice of the Chihuahua Savage. Hola, compa Carlos. Buenos tardes, amigo.
I love our friends and family down in Chihuahua.
Well, I love going down there. Not sure if we're going to get to do it again when the Strikers go down there in a week or two, but
Either way, folks, head down to Chihuahua, Mexico. I guarantee you a phenomenal time. Same with Monterrey, by the way. And, well, we're going to be going to Guadalajara next season, too. Escoto getting by.
For tonight's matchup, a healthy contingent coming up, bust in and all from San Diego. See a lot of the San Diego regulars out in the crowd tonight. Shouts to our friend Gabriel. I see Cowboy down there as well, too.
Tavoy goes down, ball taken away. Tavoy Morgan, a very, very lethal scoring threat for the San Diego Sockers. 16 goals and 9 assists on the season.
He has been very
Hands off of it, and look, we want to see this league grow. We need to be, and there's a shot deflected by the Strikers. Uzi looking to get by Leo. Berto, Charlie's only from a corporate sponsorship perspective, but also from a franchise perspective. Guadalajara, the Tequileros, looking to kick things off next season, and that's going to be fun. And Commissioner Keith Tozer did allude to the fact that
there could potentially.
And this season, especially in their home court.
I mean, very few people can go into Quarter Sports Arena and claim a win. In fact, I think the Sockers are the only team to have done it twice, and both times by the slimmest of margins, just 1 goal. Went out to a pretty healthy lead in that game, but unfortunately ended up serving up
Quite a few there in the fourth quarter, and it got far more interesting than I think it looked at
halftime.
I would agree. But tonight, look at this. I mean, it's 4-2. Nothing is decided yet.
I mean, certainly 2 goals, one of the most precarious here.
in the indoor game as San Diego cycles the ball around the midfield.
Talking about history, getting the fans to know these players from a personal level. And in my take, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on board.
This ball comes down. Huge opportunity. San Diego Sockers have stormed out with 2 unanswered goals here in the second half of the game to take.
going to connect to Mr. Mustache himself. Very few people in the world, period, can pull off a mustache. Craig Childs has superpowers when he has a mustache. Charlie, out to Childs. Childs to Leo. Leo, there's Berto. Leo. And that gets headed by Berto. Charlie with Childs. And that's going to be a whistle against Palmer. Craig Childs wide open on the other side of goal. Berto is going to kick it out. Pardo launches it in the air, headed out to Bert, with wanting to prove a point. Last time they were here, we said it. They lost 10-4, but so far they have been dominating the home team Empire Strikers. And that's going to be a whistle against Berto. Sigic going into his pocket, and we have a Smurf sighting.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a trip to the sin bin. Once again, mental mistakes by the Empire Strikers. When you are down 3 goals late in the game, you cannot be making challenges like that. Huge advantage here for the San Diego Sockers.
To the midfield to Pino. Under 10 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Childs is going to chest it into Berto. Sockers intercept. Pino has it. Out to Escoto. Escoto's going to head it. Mojica. No foul. Wait, never mind.
Strikers have got to be a little bit better about managing the press and playing themselves out when San Diego chooses to pressure them. It was something that they did exceptionally well in the 10-4 victory, but have not done a great job with tonight.
And speaking of exceptionally well, oh, Mike Cohn nearly converts. Berto did a great job getting by Escoto, using the boards. Mike Cohn nearly converting. Soccer's off to the races. Gonzalez has it, just misses. It deflects. Golden Gutierrez has it. He has a shot off the boards. Toth gets a hand on it. Cleared by Berto. Cardenas is going to kick it back into Felipe. Felipe with Costa in front of him. He's going to kick it back to Charlie.
San Diego unlucky to not find an 8 there. Just a moment ago at the other end, Strikers just missing by inches.
It's a lot of fun tonight.
We got a question about Adam James in the chat. He had an emergency appendectomy south of the border. He is currently training with the M2 team for Empire the Jets. He is due back at some point this season.
Tavoy looked to make a bike attempt in traffic. Toth is going to dive into it. Whistle. 1 with 6 minutes left to go.
Strikers had a massive comeback against Chihuahua just a couple days ago here. Last time San Diego went down to Chihuahua, we saw them give away a big lead late in that game. Those storylines both coming up tonight.
Noe to Pacheco, and that's got to be for San Diego.
Massive defensive play to keep this a 1-goal game with just under 4.5 left to play in the fourth.
Pacheco tried to connect with Frank earlier, didn't get a handle on it. We see Nestor Hernandez passing it over into Berto. 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the fourth. Frank has it, looking to get by Cardenas and Leo. Cardenas picks the King's pocket.
Far too casual there by Frank, getting his pocket picked way too easily.
And
we've got a brutal collision here midfield. 2 players down. It's a high boot there from Berto.
20 seconds left to go within the fourth quarter. Rojo getting by Mike Cohn. Frank is there to make a defensive play off the boards.